Intro to Marketing Mix Modeling. Talk briefly about what this is for, how it helps, and how your team will use it. So we'll start real quickly just by walking through the sections of what the solution will have for you. The first thing that we'll build together is a map of the cause and effect hypotheses of what's driving your sales. I'll get into that in a moment. Then, after we collect your data and integrate it and do the analysis with it, we will explore a series of questions to understand what drove sales in the past across different channels, across different target audiences, across different campaigns or frequencies of touch points with those people that you're reaching out to. Of all the things that you were doing, what was more or less efficient in driving sales in the past? And we'll understand that here. Then with that understanding, we can get into some what-if scenario analysis. Well, based on how efficient these things have turned out to be, if we make certain changes, what impact would that have on our earnings, on the sales, questions like that. From there, working together with your team, we put together an action plan of what changes you guys might make in terms of how you're going to market. And all of that will be presented in this executive summary, which will explain a bit of the past and also highlight the major changes that are planned, what the magnitude of those are, and what impact they're expected to have on sales. And then finally, we'll have this impact tracking section, which is after you've made these sections, you'll be able to see how much of this action plan has actually been implemented in terms of changes in what you're doing and what is the resulting impact on sales of that. Briefly, I want to draw your attention to this section here, which keeps us focused on our North Star as a project. This is not a generic page here or section here. This will be tailored with your company, your team, depending on what we're specifically trying to do. But more or less, it'll keep us all focused on what our overall purpose is on this project and the payouts for different audiences. So generically, for the overall purpose, we're trying to improve sales and marketing ROI by 20 to 40%. That's generally what we've been able to achieve in the pharma space by identifying what has been working and what's not working and focusing on what has been working. And then on an ongoing basis, have a tool here that provides an accurate feedback system for continuous improvement going off into the future. So it's not just a static one-time analysis, but something that you enjoy going forward. For commercial leaders, the main payouts will be boosted sales and especially earnings for mature products, to accelerate early stage growth after product launch, to evaluate pilots faster and at lower cost, for field force leaders, to improve promo grid design with insights around brand, HCP specialty, and visit frequency ROI. And for marketers to be able to know what works across the portfolio, to try and evaluate pilots with less cost and time, and to be able to document wins and justify pilot expansion with objective metrics. So this is kind of our general North Star, but again, this would be tailored for you guys. So jumping into this briefly, in our cause and effect hypotheses section here, we'll zoom in and just talk about a few pieces of this. What we'll do with you is we'll sit down and we'll map out the purchase journey from initial patients or prospective patients through any gatekeepers or funnels that they might go through until they actually make the purchase. We'll talk about what activities you guys are doing to influence that purchase journey, which target audiences you're focused on across which geographies, which topics you're messaging with, and what kind of frequency bands you are focusing on using to reach these individuals. Also, other kind of things that are happening from your competitors or from other market events that might be impacting the sales environment and the cause and effect scenario. So the key goal of this exercise is to identify all of the major things that might be driving sales and how we want to test those and what relationship they might have to each other and things like that, so we can set up good experimental design. And then from there, we'll move to a list that we'll tailor with you guys of what are your key questions. For your team, what are the most important things that you guys want to get out of this? So that's the objective of this. There's some other things here, but that's enough for right now. Hopping back into the main page, after we collect your data and do the analysis, we'll spend some time with you in iterating the way the models are set up to make sure that they incorporate the nuanced understanding you guys have of your markets. But we'll get into this section of understanding what drove sales in the past. And then we'll get into this what if scenario analysis. And here, we might have insights on different ROI levels of different channels, in this case, face-to-face visits versus email sends, and what the ROI of these two are versus what we've invested in the past, are planning to invest, and might do differently this time. We'll get into the different target audiences that we're focusing on, the different frequencies with which we're visiting these people and their ROI, and the different content topics. And with all of these, we'll have a chance to play with some sliders to see what happens if we make certain changes to our levels here, and what impact that would end up having to our sales. And then we can see at the end of all of this, okay, given these changes we're looking to make, this would produce a 16% lift here, a 4% lift here to our ROI, a 7% lift here. And overall, across these small changes that we're looking to make in each of these areas, we'd have a 27% higher marketing ROI, which over a 3-year time frame would yield us an additional $26 million in additional earnings. And this would be, something we would do together with your team to fit together an actual plan that would make sense and work for you guys, which all gets summarized in our executive summary here, and which you're then able to track the impact of over time to demonstrate the benefit that you're getting from all of this. And that's it for now. We'll check in soon as we get into starting the project together. Thanks. Bye.